Greetings, Miskatonic Repository. My name is Heinrich Moore, and today we're talking about sins, or masks, and maybe chains? Fundamental to my idea of Carcosa is that the victims drawn to it are so drawn because of some deep-seated trauma or guilt. It's like something that has gnawed deep inside you and is slowly consuming you, replacing you with itself. Now, this isn't guilt in like a moral judgment sense. Carcosa doesn't care one way or the other. It's more that it's like a force, like gravity, that Carcosa exudes, that attracts those with a burden on their conscience. The closer they get, the stronger the pull, as Carcosa transforms in response to their twisted regrets and desires. This isn't a new idea, of course, and it's been explored in games like Silent Hill and the Persona series, and in literature by authors like Thomas Ligotti. How to transfer that idea into a tabletop RPG solo adventure, though, well, that's the challenge. I started with the idea of 3 pre-generated investigators, each of whom had some kind of trauma drawn from my own life experiences and those around me. So the pre-gen Benjamin was an alcoholic. Alice mourned her miscarriage, and Cassidy battled gender dysphoria. The problem was that this would be a solo scenario about these individuals then, not about your investigator, and it would only show off the version of Carcosa unique to these individuals. No good. I then played with the idea of a randomized table of sins that every investigator would roll on to find their particular hang-up. Maybe it could be based on the 7 deadly sins or some other list of trauma. But there was no way I could personalize the scenario to account for 20, 10, or even 7 different kinds of sin. So instead, I've compromised with a concept called masks, a kind of metaphorical burden that you're always carrying, but that manifests once you reach Carcosa. I had 6, and that was too many, and I consolidated them into 4. The Mask of the Lost, the Mask of the Addict, the Mask of the Masochist, and the Mask of the Guilty. Each aligns with some genre character tropes. The protagonists from Silent Hills 1 and 2, for example, may wear the Mask of the Lost, so wrapped up in their search for someone they've lost that they end up losing themselves. That's our Alice from earlier drafts. Benjamin, our original pre-gen alcoholic, of course wears the Mask of the Addict, though in the Carcosa guide, the addiction could be anything, whether pills, adrenaline, or work. The mask would remain the same. Cassidy was the Mask of the Masochist, someone struggling with reconciling or accepting who they are when everyone around them is telling them who they should be, and that they are worth less if they don't meet those expectations. These 4 masks aren't perfect delineations, of course. Silent Hill 2's James Sunderland might as well be a mask of the guilty for how he responds to his wife's illness, and we could easily have more masks, like the Mask of the Coward, which I combined into the Mask of the Guilty, or the Mask of the Green-Eyed, of jealousy, which I melded with the Mask of the Masochist. For me, though, these 4 masks broadly capture the themes I'm going for, and establish a customizable player experience that I think I can accomplish. How, exactly? Well, let's talk about that next time. But, spoiler, it involves chains. Until then, stay tuned for more.